It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night, the Talk Tua of Survivor podcast. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going today?
I'm doing all right, Jake. I don't know if I want to do free promotion for other podcasts, but that's you do you. It's up to you.
Okay. I really like the show TVTL. I've been listening to it since 2009. It's a daily podcast, about an hour long every day. It's nice. It's just two friends talking.
Yeah. They did a companion podcast about the show Patriot that I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, Patriot is another good show. It's a show on Amazon Prime. It's not a podcast. It's a television program that nobody watched, but occasionally, every few years, somebody will say, "Hey, this show's really good. Why is no one talking about it?"
One of the best shows of the last decade.
It's all about Tom Brady. Just kidding. It's like the On Fire podcast where it has a horrible title, but unlike the On Fire podcast, it's actually quite good. Because the title just doesn't really reflect at all what the show is. Okay. Speaking of TV, Thomas, did you watch Survivor 47 last night?
Did.
And can we talk about how smooth that transition was?
It was butter smooth.
The first episode we watched this week, and the only episode we watched this week, because I haven't updated my notes since you went out of town that one time. Feel the FOMO. Pretty good.
It was good. The titles have been on point, yeah. I would say.
How did you feel about Rome doing the previously on Survivor segment?
I thought it was I think the editors are having fun with it this season, and I support it.
Yeah, I liked it. Somebody compared it to the challenge, because this is what they do with the challenge. They just get a different person from each episode to be like, previously on the challenge.
It did kind of feel like that.
And it was kind of fun, but it very, like my transition into the episode, very smoothly transitioned into just a regular previously on Survivor segment. So that was good. I think that they did a good job with that. And that's my take. On Gata, Andy loved Tribal Council because he got to take Annika out. Bad look for Andy. And
why? Why can't you be happy about orchestrating a move?
Because it's mean.
What?
It's mean to vote people out and be proud of it.
Okay.
Sam tells Rachel he really, really, really wants to work with her. Carly Rae Sampson over here. Right?
Yeah, what are you, Tom Hanks? Yeah. Get out of here, Tom Hanks.
Rachel Hanks and Carly Rae Sampson. Okay, Sam plans on using his idol as a fake. I think this is a fine move. We'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to get these immediately expiring idols anytime in the future. I think this is maybe the last season for them.
I could see that. I kind of liked it, to be honest. I mean, if they're going to do too much, I don't mind that.
The issue is, with this nice era, everybody knows everything all the time. So having this fake idol, not fake idol, but expiring idol in the first tribal, when he tells everybody about it, I guess he didn't tell Andy about it. That was the whole thing. Whatever. I don't want to think about it anymore. A boat picks them up and...
Imagine, though, imagine if they had, like, maybe a different location so that people wouldn't know as much going into
like
it.
Like a different island on Fiji? I know Fiji's a big population of islands, so...
Yeah, I don't understand. Why are they, Truman? Are they Truman? Why do they want to go to Fiji so bad? Why do you want to be at Fiji so bad?
That's actually a good question. What if Jim Carrey took over for Jeff Probst? We got to see a little bit of Jeff Probst's succession in this episode, but what if it was Jim Carrey instead? Imagine that. Wouldn't that be funny?
Fascinating.
And he'd be like, what's the deal with my Jerry Seinfeld impression? Nice recovery.
You were playing possum there with that bit.
Yeah. It was, because comedy is all about, like, the unexpected.
Yeah.
Okay, Fiji, how many islands do you think it is?
How many islands isn't it? Let's see.
We know it's more than one. So you can scratch that out.
I'm going to say it's 4 islands.
It's more than 4.
5.
Try 100 times harder.
500.
There are more than 500 islets, amounting to 7,100 square miles.
Well, you didn't say islets.
That's because I hadn't read that
islands.
part yet. It's 330 islands, 500 islands.
Stop the steal. This is rigged.
Yeah. Excuse me for
Jake's being very unfair to me. Being very unfair.
Less than 1 million people live there. That's as many people as have played Survivor. Less than 1 million. Okay, that's the new segment, Fiji Facts.
Damn, that's crazy.
A boat picks them up and tells them to drop their buffs, but this is not the merge. Jeff tells us this is not the merge yet.
Don't call it
the merge. It's just everybody getting together on the same beach and voting one person out. But it's not the merge yet. Gabe compares the pre-merge to elementary school and the merge to high school and says he wants to graduate. What do you think about this? You love when they compare things to school.
Yeah, it's basically the song Graduate by Third Eye Blind.
Oh, I was going to say Gabe was just going around whistling Graduation by Vitamin C.
Oh, that too.
Or as he calls it, Vitamin G, because he's Gabe. Gabe starts with G.
And as we walk on, don't we remember, right? I mean, in this new era of Survivor.
In this nice era of Survivor. Sue washes her idol. Smooth plan. Very necessary.
Yeah, this is... By the time you play it, people are going to be like, hey.
Right. Like, nobody's looking at your idol right
that.
now. You're the only one looking at your idol. What's the point of washing it? Hide your evidence better. Like, it didn't feel like the smartest move. Like, the best use of time to wash the thing that's going to stay in her pocket until she plays it, right?
Yeah.
Should have washed the sand better. How hard is it to wash sand?
Yeah, wash some sand already.
At the merge, not the merge. Holy shit, they almost got me there with everybody being on the same beach and doing the same thing and all living together. They all arrive on the same beach but aren't merged yet and have to do a scavenger hunt for an advantage in the next challenge. Okay. What about a merge feast?
No, you can't have that.
No one can find this advantage until Genevieve checks out a buoy off the island or islet.
It's an important difference.
I really liked when she went off on her own to follow that buoy after Sam was like, it's nothing. And she goes, I'm going to be so pissed if I go there and get all wet and it's nothing. I felt like she sounded like a Patty Harrison character from I Think We Should Leave.
Stupid piece of shit buoy that I got all wet for.
They all have a kumbaya session. Damn, like the merge? What if they did the merge instead of another scavenger hunt? Here's the thing, Jeff. You complain all about we don't have enough time. And then you throw 3 scavenger hunts in every episode. Take 1 or 2 of the scavenger hunts out.
No, those are load-bearing scavenger hunts.
Stop. Sam and Teeny both played Mike TV in their school plays. This was cute. I liked this moment.
That was great, yeah.
Who's your favorite Willy Wonka character?
Willy Wonka character?
Yeah.
It's a great question.
And do you remember all of them?
You mean all the kids that are there?
More specifically, everybody who was in the entire movie.
I don't know that I remember everyone.
I remember
mom. Mr. Slugworth. I remember all of Charlie's grandparents. I remember his mom.
And his grandpa Joe, who didn't even get out of bed until he was promised a trip to Willy Wonka's factory. What a lazy asshole. How dare he?
Yeah, this stupid bitch.
I can't believe
we hate
he
him.
did that. It's not.
Anyway, my favorite character is probably Grandpa Joe.
I liked when he was inspired by the magic of Willy Wonka enough to dance out of the bed that he'd been stuck in for 40 years.
Yeah, pretty great. You know who my favorite character in all of Willy Wonka is?
Who's that?
It's It's the guy in the store that he buys the winning ticket from that's
yeah.
don't talk to anybody, go home. That guy was so
That
nice,
was such a
and he
good
didn't
dude.
have to be.
There need to be more just good dudes who don't really...
Just a kindly shopkeeper.
My favorite would probably be the other grandma who's like only in that first scene. She has some like one or two just hilarious lines that she delivers so dryly. Obviously, I can't think of any of them right now because I haven't watched that movie in 15 years. But I remember her being very funny.
The only things to remember from that are nothing apparently. No, the scary tunnel.
Scary Tunnel, good
all
scene.
All the Oompa Loompa songs.
Good scene.
And the you get nothing, you lose, you stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Yeah, good scene.
Part
too.
of it.
Okay. A bunch of people find Sue's red paint all over and the broken pottery. You couldn't have like put this in a rock in the ocean or something at night? You just buried it 3 feet away?
What better place to hide it than in plain sight, you know?
That's a good point. Just like Grimace in Survivor 43. Carolyn figures it out. Good for her. I was really happy when you could see on her face making the connections. It was really good. I'm liking Carolyn, I think.
Yeah, Carolyn's good.
Tiana also raises a red flag about it. What's your take on red flags? I remember you having a take on the term red flag and green flag.
I think that the expanding it beyond just red flag is stupid. I think that's how I feel about it. Because like green flag was not a term that existed. People just like used red flag enough that they decided that they also needed to do that, and I don't really get that. Or yellow flags, like shut up. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. 1, how do you start a NASCAR race?
Do you start it with a green flag?
I think so.
Okay, so you don't know.
I don't know, but I did grow up in the Midwest. What happens when the waves are too big? What flag do they put up?
Is it a red flag?
What about when the waves are okay? If you're a strong swimmer, you can risk it.
Do they put up a yellow flag?
A yellow flag. And what about if it's calm seas out in Lake Michigan?
I'm gonna say they probably put up damn Michigan flag.
Yeah, so like this is what we're proud of. This is the wetland that we love so much.
Best state.
What's your license plates say now? Wetland, Winterland, Wonderland, or something like that?
I don't know that they say that.
It's something like that. I saw it last time I was in Michigan, and I was like, that's weird. Bring it back to the one that was in the 90s that I remember from being a child. What was I going to say? Something else. Anyway, Sue doesn't trust Tiana. Back, speaking of Survivor. Rome goes on an information gathering crusade and tries to create chaos. Rome doing too much.
This is the thing, right? I like the idea of going to people that you think might be at risk to form an alliance, because like you could potentially get like a nice sneaky alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that there's some potential like strategic innovation to be found there, but you can't be going over to every single person that one person talked. Like, I don't know. Like, did you think that no one would talk to each other? That's how I feel about this.
It really felt like that. Tiana listens to her gut, which tells her Rome is stirring shit up, and Saul tells her and the others this is what Rome does. This was the instant I knew Rome was out. Like, that was such a devastating blow to his game for Saul to just be like, oh yeah, of course he's doing that. That's what he does. It gets back to Kyle, who says he was trying to have general conversation with him and is now feeling as froggy as it gets. He's fixing to squish him like a bug.
I was liking all the Kyle stuff. This is a very relatable thing where someone is saying stuff and you just kind of like nod along a little bit because you're just like, I don't know what to say here. And then to have him be like, oh, he actually was talking shit about all of you. It's like, what?
I really liked one. I really liked that Kyle kept referring to himself as No Vote Kyle. It makes our job a lot easier coming up with nicknames for people. No Vote Kyle is such a good name.
Novo Kyle is a good name.
He says "fuck Rome," which I did not expect to hear from our boy No Vote Kyle. You know what? I bet No Vote Kyle knows about green flags, yellow flags, and red flags for the Great Lakes.
You know, the Great Lakes flags are kind of my Roman Empire. Do you love it when people say that, by the way? It's not annoying at all.
It's very funny. I was actually looking at some quotes quizzes last night, and one of them listed that as the summary of the, like the summary before the quiz starts. They said this is my
I like
Roman
that the
Empire.
Roman Empire thing went from like shock that men think about it at all, which it's like, yeah, there's dudes that really like that, to like, you all do this, right? It's
Yeah.
like, no.
All boys are the same. The new challenge is women asking their male partners if to make them a coffee. Get it?
Why?
Somebody posted a video where their boyfriend made a fuss about it. Because, like, TikTok?
I love the idea that you you have to be constantly doing little tests.
Yeah, it's really
like
good.
You can't ever like talk to each other, or it always has to be like there's always some like secret test that is being applied.
Yeah. Like, are they going to make it? Are they actually good? This person I've decided to spend my time with? It's very silly, and it's very fun. Okay, Kyle is so pissed at Rome for lying about him because he's one of the most honest dumbasses out there. Another great line from Kyle.
Yeah, look, there's a reason I picked Kyle.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
I do sound like that. Thank you for noticing.
Then we have Not the Merge Feast. Sam is thrilled to see charcuterie. How do you feel about charcuterie as a word? Not as a dish.
I think it's one of those things where I'm just tired of hearing it.
Yeah. It's a long word. I hear a lot. And I
don't get me wrong, I like charcuterie, but people always sound very proud of themselves for saying it too.
You mean you made a big Lunchable for adults? That's not impressive to me.
Yeah. Look, I love a tray of cheese and cured meats and maybe some nice nuts, or maybe some berries. I mean, this is all good stuff.
Yeah. Found out recently a banana's a berry. Isn't that interesting?
That is you know what? Actually, it's not interesting.
Good point.
Keep that to yourself.
Everyone wants to vote Rome, but Andy is the secondary vote. This was expected. Teeny drinks wine straight from the bottle and says, I'm gonna need a buddy. Teeny, I should have picked Teeny at the merge. I fucked up.
Yeah, that's
Teeny's my favorite person.
Who did you
We
pick,
don't need to get into
way?
it right now. At the camp, Rome throws Saul under the bus thinking he's running things, but everyone knows it's going to be Rome. This sucked. I hated this. This episode made me so mad the whole time. Rome says it's...
Why you have to be mad?
Rome says it's either a Rome game or a home game, and this might just be a home game for Saul. I get what he was trying to do here, but, like, wouldn't a home game imply that they have the advantage?
Yeah, I was a little confused about this as well.
Like, look, I love a rhyme crime, Rome. Great stuff. But they're at home right now on the beach. That's the whole premise of the show. Try harder in the future on Survivor 50.
Yeah, Rome, have you seen Survivor? Dog, have you seen Survivor? You don't know.
Every Wednesday, Survivor, CBS.com. CBS.com, what year is it? What year did they start putting shows on TV?
It's a great. You know what? That's a great. That might be the best question that you've ever asked.
What year did they start putting
Hold
their
on.
episodes
Hold
on the
on,
website?
Hold on. Googling what year did they start putting shows on TV?
Well, the show's over. Oh my god.
Let's
It's the
see.
most embarrassed I've ever been.
According to this probably wrong AI result from Google, the late 1920s.
That tracks. The thing about AI, the AI window on Google, like they were already doing that. Like they were already pulling from a source that was like the most likely source you were looking for and like highlighting what you were interested
Yeah, this just
in.
takes more energy and is a lot.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, let's talk about these wildlife shots. Not Google, actually good. We had snake, we had bat, we had fish, we had dark heron. We also had the masked booby, aka the blue-faced booby. I know you love to talk about boobies, Thomas, so we're going to talk about these guys.
We've talked about boobies many times on this show.
I'm of the opinion that you can never talk about boobies enough. They're bright white and have black wings.
That's facts.
That's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, and the fact is, boobies are nice. How long do you think they are? These boobies.
Are they a foot long?
No, try almost 3 times as hard.
Are they 3 feet long?
Almost.
2.5 feet.
They're about 2.5 feet, 30 to 33 inches. Tell me about that wingspan, though.
I'll say 7-foot wingspan.
Oh my god, why do you always go in feet? It's always in inches. It's always in inches and pounds.
All right, I'll say it's like I'll say 72. I'll say it's like a 6-foot wingspan, 72 inches.
Close enough. 63 to 67. Maybe a big boy might get up to 72. How much would you guess they weigh? Remember, these are birds. They have hollow bones, and they
do got hollow bones.
They don't have a lot of meat on them.
Is this in pounds?
This is in pounds. Yeah, they're British.
I'll say they weigh 1 pound.
Try 2 to 5 times harder.
2 to 5 pounds.
And how many eggs do they lay?
So many.
I'll give you a hint. It's part of the last answer.
Do they lay 2?
They lay 2 eggs. How many of these juveniles of the 2 eggs?
I've always said that boobies are juvenile.
How many juveniles of these 2 eggs survive, and why?
I'll say 1, because maybe they eat the other one.
Ding, ding, ding. The older one will kill the younger often. Cool shit. Despite this, where do you think they rank?
Least concern.
Got it. Because it's every fucking... Oh, you know what we didn't talk about yet? The fucking schoolyard pick. They did schoolyard pick. Did we just skip through the challenge?
Did we? I don't know that we got to it yet. Because we haven't gotten to any of the twists.
We did skip the challenge. We went straight from Kyle saying fuck Rome into the merge phase.
Oh, to the charcuterie board. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the cool twist.
Yes, he introduces a new twist, which is just how they did merges prior to the Nice era. This was stupid. Like, Jeff, what are you talking about? We already did. Okay. The first challenge is a team challenge for the reward. The second challenge is for immunity, and the immunity is a bat skeleton. Pretty cool.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Did you recognize Roland up there? So Genevieve gets the advantage to skip the first challenge, and then they do a schoolyard pick. And then they don't show us the schoolyard pick in the episode. Why? This sucked, right?
Yeah, like, why even do it at that point if we don't get to see?
It's like when they teased us that it was going to be tribe swap into 2 tribes, and then it was just one reward challenge, and then they went back to normal. Like, what? Why would you do that? Just to, like, prove us wrong as fans of your show? Dumb. This sucked, Jeff. Do a regular tribe swap. Do a regular merge. Just be regular, Jeff. Eat your play.
Not very on fire of you.
Not very on fire of you. On water. Jeff, not on fire, not on business. What's the
More
phrase?
like
Standing
on water. Yeah, he is standing off business.
Jeff is standing off business these days in the nice era, and we can't have that. They have to dive through some mud. We've talked about the mud, then the sawdust, and then remove jungle debris from a box with grappling hooks, and then go down a wooden slide, and then climb a steep ramp, and then maneuver a ball through a maze. You know, like survival?
Yeah. Classic Survivor challenge.
The yellow team wins. I'm just mad that we didn't get to see the schoolyard pick. It was a deleted scene, or a secret scene, as they call it. Did you watch the secret scene?
I did not watch the secret scene. I forgot that you sent that to me.
I was pretty upset about it. When I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, did I somehow miss this scene? Why did I not see the schoolyard pick? Oh, because they didn't put it in the fucking episode.
It sure didn't.
Like, if you weren't going to show us, just don't tell us it's a schoolyard pick. And we were like, oh, I guess it's random teams. Whatever. Part 2 is them balancing a ball on a bow, and No Vote Kyle wins. Pretty exciting stuff. And we already did all the other segments, so we can go straight into Tribal Council. And he calls it kind of a tango. Tribal Council. So,
It is kind of a tango if you think about it.
everyone complains about the advantages, specifically the amulet. Jeff, how many times do we have to tell you this? Stop with all the advantages. We don't need it.
Too many.
So Jeff invites Rome to sit in his chair and talk through the issues with the amulet. Now, here's my thing. What if Rome takes over for Jeff when Jeff retires in a few years?
So, I mean, he did a pretty good job.
He did. He did a really good job, and he's clearly passionate about it. And I think he's fairly young. I think he's like, late 20s, early 30s?
Something like that. So is it my understanding that with the On Fire thing, they're doing like a rotating, like one player from the previous season is going to sit in?
Yes.
I would be willing to bet that Rome is going to be the other On Fire
for next season.
person for next season.
I mean, he called his shot, and Jeff seems to love him. And on Fire, he said in his notes, he always reveals his casting notes after the person gets voted out, which is like the only interesting thing on the show, but it's also a lot of just Jeff sniffing his own farts. But this particular fart was Jeff saying, if for any reason Rome isn't competing in a challenge, we should let him call a challenge because he has that, history or whatever.
Yeah, because he's an esports announcer, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, either On Fire or when Jeff retires in 10 to 20 years. I feel like Jeff is never going to retire.
No, he's gonna die on Fiji.
Jeff asks about blindsides, and Andy says blindsiding Annika was fun, and then he speaks in German at his voting confessional. Why?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
I really like this voting confessional from Sam, though. He says, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, but your game sure was destroyed in one.
Whoa.
Should have stuck with Sam. That should have been my guy.
It's so fun. I mean, look, I think we can all, Rome brought a lot of joy to all of us this season, and one of the greatest bits of joy that he brought to all of us, beyond just stirring the pot and being a good TV character, was how often we got to make Rome wasn't built in a day or Rome is burning jokes.
It's so
both
fucking
people on the
good.
show and us watching it. I never get tired of doing it.
It's so good. I'm so upset that he didn't make the jury because he would be such a good jury member. Carolyn, Andy, and Teeny play their amulet for Teeny. Okay. This was the most nothing burger of an advantage I've ever seen.
It did, yeah, it literally didn't matter.
They vote. Sam gets 1 vote. Andy gets 2 votes. Rome gets 6 votes. and then was incredibly sweet to Jeff and everyone else as he left.
Yeah, it was nice.
I was not expecting that at all. I really liked that. And then Jeff gives them all their merge buffs. Why? What was the point of this? In my book, Rome made the merge. I don't care. Rome did as well as Boston Rob did his first time out.
He made the merge, and we're all proud of him for making the merge.
Okay. Last week you had 22 points to my 23. You said Kyle would continue to survive. You got a point for that. You said Sam would win reward. I said Kyle would win rewards. We both got a point for that. You said chicken would be at this merge feast.
No chicken there. There was wine, though, which I think is what you said.
Wine. I did say wine. You said Tiana would win immunity. I said Rome would win immunity. Neither of those happened. You said Rachel would be the merge boot. I said Gabe. Neither of those happened. Still waiting on Applebee's or Outback Steakhouse. So you're at 24 points. I'm at 25 points. This might be the last week I'm in first place.
So just to be clear, I just want to. Sorry, who did you pick again?
It seems like I didn't pick anybody at the merge. Oh, I guess I got to pick now. I guess I'll pick Bloody Hands Sue. No, fuck. I picked Rome because I thought he had our bump. And then
yeah, I am a little sad that this is the demise of the DYWSLN bump, but you know, if you bat 660 in baseball, you'd be like the greatest hitter of all time.
Yeah, that's true. Shohei Ohtani over here. What's his batting average now? Is he in the World Series? Is he winning?
The Dodgers are up 2-0. I think he got hurt in the game yesterday, though.
Too good. An Icarus type situation. Remember when Icarus went into the Hall of Fame for the MLB? Okay, because he hit the ball too close to the sun. It melted, so they couldn't record the home run. They were like, we didn't even see what happened to the ball. Okay, who's winning the reward?
Boy.
Could be. Could also be a girl.
I'm going to say Teeny.
I will say... I'll say Gabe. I don't know why. It just feels right. What will the reward be?
I'll say burgers. We haven't had any burgers yet.
That's a good call. I'll say chocolate. What's the immunity going to be? It's going to be a bat. Who's going to win immunity?
I'll say Kyle, back-to-back weeks.
Hey, I would not be mad about that. I will say Saul. And finally, who's getting voted out?
That was a great question. I'll say Andy.
I hope not. I hope Andy makes it all the way to the end and takes third place. I will say Schaumburg Sierra. Sam and Sierra seem like the most powerful couple at this point, and I feel like they're going to try to take one of them out, and they're not going to take Sam out because he's such a big, strong man. And they need a big, strong man for the challenges.
True.
Now that it's officially the merge. Okay, Thomas, this week we learned that Sam and Teeny both played Mike TV in their school's production of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So can you tell us the name of this week's quotes quiz?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged. You know it won't stick, yo.
Willy Wonka character do you identify with? Take this quiz and we'll reveal which Willy Wonka character matches your personality, behave, and you'll go far.
Ooh, okay. January 26, 2020. We all remember that era of history. Who is this person? Nelson, 45. A cat. with 10,485 points. How exciting. If you had to sing a talent show song, what song would you sing? Oh, this is kind of like karaoke. You love karaoke.
That's kind of like karaoke.
Wanna Be the Spice Girls,
karaoke.
Be My Baby, the Ronettes, You Take My Breath Away by Queen, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I do not have the voice for any of these, I think, but I'll say September.
Yeah. I'll say Wanna Be because then I don't have to sing as much because everybody else will be singing with me. I guess, do people sing along in a talent show, though?
No, I mean, maybe. I don't think you notice it as much.
Sure. Choose an actress. Dove Cameron, Emma Watson, Anne Hathaway, Debbie Ryan. Why is Debbie Ryan's name so big?
I don't know who two of these people are.
Isn't Debbie Ryan the lead singer of Blondie or somebody?
No, you're thinking of Debbie Harry.
Debbie Harry, okay. Let's look up Debbie Ryan. I bet that's one of the ones you haven't heard of.
Yeah, I don't know who Dove Cameron is either.
She was born in 1993. She's married to Josh Dunn as of 2019. She was in Jessie. She was in Insatiable. She was in 16 Wishes. She was on Sweet Life on Deck. She was on Radio Rebels. She was in Night Teeth. She's on Instagram.
Okay, so this is explaining why I don't know.
Her mom is Sandy Pop Ryan with 3 Ps, and her dad is Chris Ryan. Her instruments are vocals. What is this, an actor?
Yeah, Dove Cameron was in the movie Vengeance, which I've seen, but I don't remember her in it.
Dove Cameron...
She's also a musician of some sort, it appears.
Who isn't these days? Debbie Ryan was in Spin Me Round in 2022. She appears to be a... she's from Huntsville, Alabama, where my wife's grandparents live. That's fun. Ryan is a Christian, and she is fluent in German. Oh, so she could probably make out what Andy was saying in his... She's married to the drummer from 21 Pilots, and they live in Columbus,
Is the University
Ohio.
of Alabama in Huntsville?
That is not a question I would know the answer to.
No, I don't think it is. It's in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
But
okay, so she was like a Disney actor in her teens, and she was on Girl Meets World. That's where Sabrina Carpenter is from.
Not having quite the same breakout as Sabrina Carpenter.
She was also on Velma.
Maybe it's only a matter of time, though, because I remember we were doing one of these BuzzFeed quizzes not too long ago, and Sabrina Carpenter came up, and I went, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, even though we had talked about Sabrina Carpenter and had an entire Carpenter's Patreon show featuring her. Okay. I'm picking Anne Hathaway for her role in Colossus.
I'm also picking Anne Hathaway because I liked the movie Rachel Getting Married.
Yeah, it's such a great movie. I saw that movie with my mom and sister, which I would not recommend. But it was on, get this, film. And the film projector broke halfway through the movie. It fell off the reel. So they had to give us like...
You're like, how do I know if Rachel's going to get married?
They were gonna, they gave us like a little intermission and then started it back up. And then as we left, they gave us a free ticket to a movie. And I don't know if I ever redeemed that. And I don't think that theater exists anymore.
You didn't need to. You were so satisfied with watching Tunde Adebimpe from TV on the radio that you were spellbound.
Great movie, great band, great actor, Anne Hathaway. If you had a baby boy, what would you name him? Clyde, Donnie, Braxton, Ash.
None of these, especially not Braxton. I'll say Clyde.
After who? The Clydesdales from Budweiser?
Clyde
I'm
Drexler.
gonna pick Ash after... Is that his name in Evil Dead?
Pokemon. Yeah, well, that too, but also Pokemon.
Obviously Pokemon. And my second son is going to be named Vulpix. If you had a baby girl, what would you name her? Vulpix. Jade, Jane, Holly, Aubrey. What are these names?
I don't know. I'll say Aubrey, I guess. I like Aubrey Plaza.
I'm going to say Jade after Jade Cargill, obviously. What's your favorite book? And there's only 4 books.
These are the only kinds of
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Twilight and The Hate You Give must be on any list like this.
The Sound of Waves.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
I don't know what The Sound of Waves is. Have you heard of that book?
I don't know. I've read To Kill a Mockingbird. I have not read any of these other ones, so I guess I'll pick that.
I guess I'll pick To Kill a Mockingbird also. God, we're gonna get the same guy.
Okay, this is even more. This next set is more busted. What is going on here?
This one is in the Brat thing 4 years before Brat. Can you even believe that?
No, this is more like a pea soup. This is not a Brat.
This is Brat. It's
color.
Black text on green background.
It's not the right shade of green.
It's almost the right shade of
it.
green. Look up Brat right now.
Brad, B-R-A-D.
Brad Summer. You having a Brad Summer this year? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hanging out
right.
with a friend I hate named Brad.
Brad Garrett. I'm watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay, Grease, Step Brothers, Elf, Matilda. Damn, I like all these movies. Damn.
I'm gonna say I'll pick Matilda. I think Matilda is my favorite of those 4 movies.
I feel like, honestly, these are top 4 movies of these 4 movies. I just mean all 4 of these movies I would rank very high. So I feel like I'm losing no matter what I pick, but I'm gonna pick Grease. You can't beat Grease.
You know what I have to say to that?
Tell me.
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
What's your favorite mythical creature? Unicorn, Pegasus, mermaid, angel. Chris Angel? I'm pretty sure he's a real guy.
Chris Angel.
Chris Unicorn?
Mermaids. Definitely mermaids.
I'm going to pick a Pegasus from Hercules. Remember Hercules?
I do remember Hercules.
I got Augustus Gloop. You're a foodie. Did you also get Augustus Gloop?
I also got Augustus Gloop.
But you don't let it get you. You don't let it get to you. For the most part, you remain in your own world and you live life to the fullest. Honestly, pretty spot on, BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I agree.
I do love food, but it's not my whole thing. And I do kind of keep in my own world. I love Survivor podcast. And I love playing Dungeons and Dragons. And that's what I'm doing this Sunday and every Sunday for the last 10 years almost. I think this is our 10th year doing this show, Thomas. Did you know that?
I was thinking about that. It's crazy. Where does the time go? But what I was more thinking about was the reactions to this. 78 cute. The next highest, 46 fail.
Oh, yeah. I always forget to look at those. What are the rest?
43 win.
Nice.
38 OMG. 33 LOL. 33 WTF.
What would you rank it? Based on those ratings?
I gotta give it a fail. I'm
You don't
sorry.
feel like Augustus Gloop?
I mean, look, it's not the results that I have a problem with. It's just the methodology to get there doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
You didn't care for the quiz despite appreciating the result. Well, you can't argue with results, Tommy. I'm going to say Thomas, but my mouth stopped halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your social media?
You can follow me at tom.tom.bsky.social. A lot of people have. You could be one of them.
The show is on YouTube at The Compassionate.
Oh, also Tom on X, the everything app formerly known as Twitter.
Okay. The show's on YouTube at The Compassionate Haters Survivor podcast. What can people comment on YouTube?
Ha ha ha, very funny smiley face.
Ooh, I have a new concept for the YouTube comments. What if you wanted to, you being the audience member, what if you wanted to give your own hot takes and then we can react to those in future episodes? Or if you disagreed with something we said or agreed with something we said, you can also write that.
I don't know that I want anyone to be disagreeing with anything that we said.
Well, obviously, nobody's
but I do
actually
like hot
going
takes.
to disagree with us because we're right every time. Every time we're right. Except for when I said Rome would win this game.
It's crazy. Yeah, crazy how we're never wrong.
We're always like, get out of Fiji. And the whole audience says, yeah, get out of Fiji. Get rid of all the advantages.
I think we should open it. I think we should open up for hot takes. And if we like that, then maybe open it up to something else. I think you're overloading the listeners with choices right now.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm people. So, very funny is the boilerplate YouTube comment. Do you remember our last poll?
I don't. You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
Are you more of a Sam or Sierra? I don't think this is a good poll, honestly. It's kind of
What?
boring.
I don't even remember what this is in reference to.
They had some fight or something. I don't know. We couldn't come up with anything better. Anyway, what do you think you are? Sam or Sierra?
I'm more of a Sam, probably.
I'm more of a Sam also, but 67% of people said Sierra. So
Interesting.
and people finally voted in our new segment. Do you like our new segment, Remember Five Guys? Love it or leave it. What do you think people said?
I'm gonna say love it's all around.
Love it 100%.
That's right. Unlike some people, some listeners who maybe didn't vote.
Some people who walked out of the room.
Interesting how the other people didn't seem to walk out of the room and in fact said they like it.
Yeah. It's a good segment. If you want to hear that segment, we put it at the end of the show. So if you don't like it, you can stop listening.
Yeah, you can love it or leave it.
Exactly.
You literally have that option.
It's literally just remembering Five Guys. What's wrong with that? It's fun. What can we...
I have to remember Five Guys every time we record or I'll die. Do you want that on your conscience?
Does Five Guys have commercials?
No, because they know people always remember.
Yeah, good point. Because we definitely need to come up with an audio sting for Remember Five Guys at some point. But first, we need to come up with a new poll to engage our listeners on youtube.com/theofficialhaterssurvivor podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be a good bumper for it. You could do GUI by Lady Gaga.
Why?
Because it spells guy.
Oh, okay. I feel like we could probably do better than that, but it's an
That's
option.
the first thing that came to mind.
Rome, good or bad?
I think the poll should be Rome, next Survivor host, yes or no?
Ooh. Will Rome take over the On Fire podcast, Survivor, or both?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Too. Okay. So you go to our YouTube page.
Honestly, him being on Fire would make a lot of sense, too, because I don't know if you know this, but Rome...
No, tell me. What's the connection?
It was burning at one point.
How quickly did it burn? One day?
Yeah, one day it was on fire.
There are shows on Patreon. I think we mentioned one earlier. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter and her parents, the Carpenters, have a show there. And also her weird uncle, John Carpenter.
Talk about former Ohio State linebacker Bobby Carpenter.
Or Jesus Christ, the Carpenter.
Yeah.
We have...
Carpenter pants.
Oh, yes. Did you want to thank the fans? Did you do that yet?
I haven't thanked the listeners yet. Thank you for listening. Also, Carpenter ants. Sorry, just had to throw that out
Gotta
there.
throw the Carpenter outs.
They're bad. They're bad for your house if you have them.
Despite having the job of a carpenter. You would think a carpenter in your house would be a luxury.
Yeah, well, they're stealing all of your wood
Can't
to
have that.
build their own stuff with it, and I can't have
Why aren't
that.
they called robber ants then? This is a little segment called Wildlife Shots. Did you thank the fans? Yes. What can people?
I thank the listeners.
What can people write on Apple reviews?
This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
And how many stars?
5 stars only.
5 stars only for this podcast. We'll be back next week with the next episode of Survivor 47. Stick around for Remember Five Guys, the greatest segment we've ever created since Wildlife Shots. Till then, oh my God, Thomas, it's Halloween weekend and we haven't even mentioned it yet.
It's crazy.
Have a great Halloween.
Deuces. It's so annoying when you just got some shit in there.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh god! But then when you like cough it up, and you're like, oh, that's what.
When you
it
get like a
was.
big piece of it that you managed to get out, and you just like hawk it out of there.
Two out of there.
Yeah, that's what you beat me to
from
it.
the internet.
We're kind of the talk to of
Podcasting.
of Survivor podcasts, I think.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Have you listened to that show at all?
But no.
I can't believe you. Michelle Obama was
why
on
would
it.
why would I do that? Michelle Obama was not on that
No,
show.
she wasn't. I don't think. I don't know who was, but it's surprising the guests they can get. It seems like a good show, very popular, most popular show of all time. It's modern day Sesame Street, and that everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Love that we're both dealing with fall throats. For a deep throat, how about fall throat?
It's exactly how I would say that. This is a fall-throated endorsement of Talk to.
Yes. Her name is Haley Mills, I think. Is that right?
I believe it is Haley Welch, and
Haley
look up
Welch.
how she spells Haley, because it's not the way that you think.
So I'm going to have to look up Talk to get to her.
You do have to look up.
I don't want to look that up.
Well, guess what?
Welch.
You have to.
Oh, that's a lot of vowels at the end there.
Well, there's also they're not in the order you would think.
Right, you would think Haley. So it's spelled like Holly Haley. My question is Hale. Why did you spell your name like that? Pretty good. But have you been to her Wikipedia page?
No.
One guy, big Mo, two guys, little bitty Mo, three guys, four-eyed Mo, four guys, no Mo, five guys, eat Mo, five little guys named Mo.
You ready to remember five guys?
You fucking bet I am.
Okay.
This is a good episode for the Remember
It's a good
Five Guys
episode for
segment,
this
because
segment.
there was some guy remembering on this
It was
episode.
a whole episode of remembering guys. First one, how about Magic Johnson?
Yes, I remember Magic Johnson, the fictional character from the show Winning Time.
Yes, exactly. That's him. That's the new segment. Which Adam McKay character
Man,
is this?
I was still so bummed that HBO just canceled that out of nowhere, because it was like actually getting legitimately good in season 2.
Damn.
And then they just had to wrap it up. It sucked.
How about Larry Bird? Speaking of HBO properties, Big
Yes,
Bird's dad.
Also familiar, yeah, the former coach of the Indiana Pacers. I know who Larry Bird is.
Did Larry coach in the W2? Or was that that's Bill Lambier, excuse me.
Bill Lambier did, yeah. He was the coach of the Detroit Shock.
That's who I'm
And then I
thinking of,
believe
yeah.
the New York Liberty at one point.
Champs, right? Didn't they just win?
Yeah, I don't think he's their coach right now, but
That's all right. How about a gentleman known as Michael Jordan?
yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but it wasn't a pizza that poisoned him in Utah.
No. What was it?
Well, the hotel bill for proof, $3,000 on just 5 dudes. I love drinking too.
Okay.
Sorry, there's an MJ Lenderman song called Hangover Game about this that is a fun song. And I agree with his theory that Michael Jordan was extremely hungover.
I believe what you're referring to is the flu game, and he would actually never do anything that would harm his body.
He's blamed. I don't know if he said a specific place in Utah, but I feel bad for because he specifically is like, yeah, I ate some pizza the night before in Utah that gave me food poisoning. And if he named the actual place, then that place has had to deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're out of business now. Who knows?
Yeah, good point. Okay, I was just checking my mic that it's recording the right one. Our fourth guy, a gentleman known as Kirk Heinrich.
Yes, I absolutely remember Kirk Heinrich, and that is why I was so excited to hear Kirk Heinrich name drop.
It was such a good pull. That was so funny. Who did Kirk Heinrich play for?
He played for the Chicago Bulls, the Atlanta Hawks, the Washington Wizards, and then I believe he just
Michael
went back
Jordan's
and played
team.
Yeah, and then he went back and played for the Bulls again, I think.
Oh, Michael Jordan's team.
Yes.
And our fifth guy, I know it's been a lot of basketball players, and you're like, where's the Survivor players? Well, how about a gentleman known as Cliff Robinson?
Yes, I remember Cliff Robinson, former Detroit Piston, Uncle Cliffy.
Anything else of note that he did?
I mean, he was on Survivor.
That's right, he was on Survivor, and he fucking ruled on Survivor. Excuse me.
R.I.P. to Uncle Cliffy.
R.I.P. Uncle Cliffy.